Hi guys, welcome to my channel. And today I have a very special guest for you, Lissa Coffey. Lissa, please take your time introducing yourself and telling about your work and about your books, including your latest book.
Okay, thanks so much. I'm a big fan of Ayurveda, and I started writing about it in '97, and I have several books out. Probably the one I'm most known for is "What's Your Dosha, Baby?"
Yes.
Discover the Vedic way for compatibility in life and love. And my new book, which just came out last month, is called "The Perfect Balanced Diet: 4 Weeks to a Lighter Body, Mind, Spirit, and Space." And that's
Sounds
available on Amazon, or you can also look at my website, perfectbalancediet.com.
That's so cool. I
Yeah.
love the title.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about you personally. What brought you to Ayurveda?
Well, back in like 95, 96, I was working on my very first book, which is called The Healthy Family Handbook. And I was a mom with young kids, and
How
um,
many?
yeah, and when they got sick, whenever anything happened to them, of course, I wanted to look at what natural remedies would be good for them. So I was always doing this research and stuff, and my friends were always saying to me, "Oh, my kid has a cold. What do I do?" Or "My kid has a bruise," or "My kid has this. What do I do? What do I do?" And I kept telling them the same thing over and over again. So I thought, I'm just going to write it in the book, and then I could just give them the book, and I'm done. So I looked at 9 different healing modalities. So color therapy, aromatherapy, naturopathy, homeopathy, all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
And then when I got to Ayurveda, I just fell in love. I was just like, why don't we all know about this? Where has this been all my life? I couldn't get enough of it. And I just dived in and just absorbed so much. I loved it so much. So I went down to San Diego and started studying with Deepak Chopra because, of course, he's the guy who really made it, brought it to the Western world in a way that we could all understand.
Yeah.
So I started taking classes with him, and I remember talking to him one day and just saying, Deepak, I love this so much. What can I do to help you spread the word? And he said, become a teacher. So I said, okay, Deepak tells me to do something. I'm going to do it. So I became a primordial sound meditation teacher. And I continued my studies with Ayurveda. I studied with Dr. Vasant Lad. I studied with David Frawley. I took the course from Maharishi University of Management. And I think that my strength is in taking a topic that could be very big, could be very foreign, could be very, different for people, and translating it and making it very applicable and practical so that we can use it right here, right now, right where we are.
And that's what all of us need. We need something that we can use in everyday life, not just the theory to talk about.
Exactly, exactly. So I think my approach is very friendly and approachable and easy. And when I explain it to people, they're like, I had no idea that's what it was all about. And I'm like, yeah, it really is that simple. You just need to, start doing it, start
Yes.
practicing it.
So when you started practicing Ayurveda in your life, what changes did you notice?
Oh, big changes and right away. Like I said, I was a young mom at the time. And so I had a lot of stress in my life and I wasn't sleeping well. Oh, this is my cat.
Say
This is my pet
hi.
here. So say hi to everybody. Hi
Hi,
from
cat.
Clara. Um, so yeah, I wasn't sleeping enough or well enough. I wasn't eating well enough. I had migraines. I had IBS. I had depression, but none of it so much that it was debilitating, just enough so that I never felt good. I never felt right. I mean, I could totally function in my life, but it just, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know what. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people, because then you go to the doctor and the doctor says, well, nothing's wrong with you. It's just life. It's just stress or whatever. And then I started practicing Ayurveda and living the Ayurvedic lifestyle. And I had so much energy and the migraines went away and I was sleeping better, the same amount, but I felt refreshed after I slept. And I was just happier and relationships worked out better for me and everything. And I thought, wow, this is what it feels like to feel good for a change. I'm going to just keep doing this. This is great.
That's amazing. And I think you're so right in terms of people kind of make peace with feeling okay and functioning, but never feeling like they're thriving, like their body is just vibrating with energy. And it's so important and so addictive. Once you feel it, you don't want to go back. So,
Exactly.
how do you use Ayurveda in your daily life right now?
Oh, in so many ways. I mean, I'm on the Ayurvedic lifestyle. So it's all about, the four areas of life that I look at: mind, body, spirit, and space. So for mind, I meditate twice daily, every day. It's really important. It's also about how you handle stresses, how being in mindfulness, dealing with whatever conflicts come your way, because that's life. We live in this world, things are going to come up. Body, eating right, eating at the right times a day, exercising the right amount, to stay in balance. Spirit, paying attention to nature, to what makes us feel good, our creativity, our relationships, things like that. And space is our environmental body, which is an extension of our regular body. So it's like, where are we spending our time? What does it look like? How are we taking care of the environment and the world? Because the world reflects on us and we reflect on our world too. And it usually shows up in our homes because that's where we are, that's where we spend our time. So for me, the Ayurvedic lifestyle encompasses all those things. And daily, that's what my life is about, from when you wake up in the morning till when you go to bed at night, and till when you wake up in the morning the next day. So it's a whole, it's every minute, every moment.
And I think it's so important for people to understand that Ayurveda is not just about what to eat, it encompasses everything that you do throughout the day. And you highlighted it so, so well. So, let's talk a little bit about your book that just came out and
Okay.
about the whole concept of being balanced, especially I think for a lot of people, balanced diet is one of the things that they struggle with the most. So, what is a balanced diet according to Ayurveda?
So in Ayurveda, really, there's no one size fits all. It's very personalized, it's very individualized, which is good because, a lot of Western diets, I remember being in college and the pineapple diet was a big deal. And you're supposed to eat pineapple all day one day and then potatoes all day the next day. And it's like, how is this good for you? What is the point of this? There's not something I could say to everybody that is going to apply. So the best part about Ayurveda is that you can use your intuition and your own common sense of what's good for you. But basically, one rule of thumb is that there are 6 tastes in Ayurveda: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, pungent, astringent. If you can get all 6 of those tastes represented in each meal, then you're going to feel satisfied. You're not going to have those cravings like there's something missing, or I have to eat more, or I have to snack, or that cookie looks really good, or whatever it is. So that's one rule of thumb. Make sure all 6 of the tastes are represented in your diet. And the other rule of thumb is to only eat until you're 75% full. Don't
That's
stuff
important.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of us are just like, oh my gosh, especially pasta night is every Tuesday night at my house, and I love pasta, and I could just keep eating and eating and eating and eating, But pay attention to your body and your stomach and what feels right. And when you're about 75% full, just stop, because the food needs that extra room to digest, to go around with the stomach acids and everything, and to digest, and so that your body can assimilate all the nutrients and use them properly. So that's the other thing. Also, in the Ayurvedic diet, you need to eat in a restful, calm atmosphere.
Without the phones.
Without the phones, without the Facebook, without the TV, without arguing with somebody. Just sit in a nice, peaceful atmosphere, and, no media or anything. Just not even, you don't even read a book. Just pay attention to the food itself. So look at the colors of the food and the texture of the food, and take it in. You eat with your eyes and your nose as much as your mouth too, and let the food be an experience. I mean, I know a lot of people that are on the go and they're eating lunch like in the car as they're going from one appointment to the other, and you ask them what they had for lunch and they're like, I don't even remember. Well, that food isn't doing as much good for their bodies as when they're sitting there calmly eating a nice meal that they remember, and each bite they savor.
Yeah. So important. I love it.
Yeah.
So let's be a little bit more specific and talk about a specific, for example, a simple Ayurvedic day of food. So what would we would have for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Especially considering that, for example, the family has 4 people, parents and 2 kids, and everyone can have different doshas and different lifestyles.
Right.
But the mother probably won't be able to cook 4 different meals.
Exactly.
So what would be something that would work pretty much for everyone, maybe in the beginning, before the person starts diving in deeper and refining?
Right. Okay, well, for breakfast, a good breakfast that's great for everybody are stewed apples.
Yeah.
And I have a really nice recipe in my book for this. But basically, you just cut up an apple. You leave the skin on it and everything, but cut it up into little slices. This is kind of the quick, easy way to do it, right? And you put it in a skillet or a fry pan or something with a little bit of ghee. Ghee is clarified butter in Ayurveda. If you're very strict vegan, then you'll want to use vegan butter instead. I'm vegan, but I like ghee because ghee is kind of medicine in Ayurveda. It's really good for you. So you put that in a pan, and then you put in maybe some sliced almonds or some golden raisins, a little bit of brown sugar, some cinnamon, whatever you like, spices-wise. And just kind of stir fry it up until the apples get nice and soft, and then serve that for breakfast. Fruit is great to have first thing in the morning because it really stimulates your digestion. It helps keep you regular and all that kind of stuff. For first thing in the day, it's good to eat fruit because it goes through your digestive system more quickly.
Yeah.
And all those spices help to give you those 6 tastes. The almonds give you a little bit of protein. The sugar gives you a little sweet, and the apples are a little bit tart. So that's like the ideal Ayurvedic breakfast, and that's easy to make for everybody.
Yeah.
If you need something a little bit more than that, then you can have oatmeal afterwards or something to go along with it. And then ideally, lunch should be the largest meal of the day. And I think that's the hardest thing for us as Westerners because, the kids are going to school and we're going to work and we only have so much time and we're not necessarily cooking. So what I like to do is I'll make up a big pot of dal, and you can make this in the slow cooker, and I've got recipes for this too, and it's so easy. You can even just make it overnight so it's fresh in the morning when you get up. And give everybody a little thermos, and then you put it in the thermos so they can have it at lunch with a little bit of naan, some carrots or whatever, that's good for their doshas. Like pitta types can eat raw fruits and vegetables, but vatas shouldn't. So, kind of think about what good side dishes would be good to have with that dal. But even if you just have the dal by itself, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you can cook vegetables into the dal as well.
That's true.
So that's kind of a really good lunch that I say for Westerners. And then dinner should not be a huge meal. You want to eat dinner ideally around 6 o'clock at night. And I know that's a struggle for people too, because, I was a mom with kids going to karate and piano lessons and all that kind of stuff. And I know it's like you're racing from place to place to place. So you want to find meals that you can cook up fresh in like 20 minutes. So I've got lots of recipes for that too. And the idea is you want to eat seasonally, so fresh foods, cook it that day. Try not to eat too many leftovers and stuff, because that's just hard on your digestion.
Mm-hmm.
Ayurveda says that whenever food has been frozen, microwaved, or left over, it loses a lot of its intelligence. So it isn't as good for you as when it is super, super fresh. So buying fruits and vegetables in season is good for us as well.
So what would be your dinner?
I can do like Tuesday nights is always pasta night. So I'll cook up a little pasta with a nice like primavera sauce. I have a couple different sauces that I just switch it up. Or I can do like spinach and do a pesto sauce with spinach and basil and pine nuts and things like that to get a little protein. Or every Thursday night I do stir fry night. So I'll do over rice. I'll have a little stir fry vegetables with a few different sauces, and you can just mix them up, whichever day. So it's not boring for you. Food should never be boring. You should always be looking forward to the dinner and enjoying the dinner. And, it shouldn't be a chore for you either to cook it or to eat it.
Yeah, and I think it's a good idea to keep things seasonal, simple, quick, but at the same time, bright and vibrant and fresh.
Exactly.
And another thing, for example, that I love to do when I know I'm in a rush, I'll just steam some vegetables and blend them with hemp seeds and spices, and you have a soup. And it has some protein, it has fiber, and it's really easy on digestion.
Yeah, that's really nice. And you can take that soup and pour it over a baked potato, something like that if you need more to be more filled up.
Yeah.
So many things you can do that are simple. Yeah. So we want to eat well. That's very important. Food is medicine in Ayurveda. And when we eat well and take care of ourselves, then it's preventive medicine so that we don't get sick.
Yeah, you're so right. And I love your approach of trying to help people with actionable things that are simple and that they can do even when they're on the run, especially coming from a mother who has kids and the position that a lot of people are in. So if people want to get to your book and to learn more about your work, where can they find you?
Go to perfectbalancediet.com. So we have the book. And actually, if you go to perfectbalance.com and then /promo, I have some bonus gifts for you so that when you buy the book, you get also an ebook of what's your Dharma. You get a whole bunch of other stuff. You get 3 months free in the club. I've got a club now.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's the Perfect Balance Diet Club, so we can support each other as a community. And when you join the club, you get 5 recipes a week, a whole menu, shopping list, everything. It makes it really easy for you.
Oh, I love it. That's such a great idea. Well, thank you so much, Lissa. And guys, if you have any questions to Lissa, you can post the questions below. And I'll also post a link to Lissa's website right below the video. So stay in touch and make sure to check out Lissa's book.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful.